Sananda. Enter when you are ready. I am Sananda, and I come to be with you in this moment. In these times of dreams, of gazes turned toward the future, toward the potential and possibilities of all that exists, all that can exist in your life. This is not an experience, the meditation that just ended, to forget. It has been an experience you can live, whenever you wish, to experience it, to feel it, to be in this new reality, to be beyond that door. That door to the fifth dimension and beyond expression. Or perhaps you only went for a time into the higher fourth dimension. But know that it is a passage point, a passage from one reality, or an illusion in this case, from this side of the veil, to the other side of the veil, toward the new reality, the new expression of love, incarnated within each of you. Whatever that incarnated love will bring you, that is how you must begin to move forward in your lives now. Consider this potential, this possibility, that it truly exists. I repeat, this door truly is there, physically in various locations on the planet, and anyone, when they are ready, can cross through it. But I warn you that you must be ready, because if you were to pass physically from this side of the veil to that other side of the veil through that physical door, your central nervous system might not be able to handle it. That is why we are not revealing the location of this door at this time. But you will know it, you will find it, as well as many other locations across the planet. They are all there waiting for those who are ready. Think about the possibilities and the potential of what I am speaking of. Think about what you could do with this awareness if you allowed yourselves to be free enough. Not necessarily physically present, but able to cross that door with consciousness. You don't need to have the physical body to cross it. You can do it with consciousness and experience the new higher level of consciousness that lies on the other side. And this is what I want you to begin to understand more and more. That level of consciousness is available to you here and now. There's no need to travel, to take a plane, car, or train. You can simply be there with your mind. Imagine yourself there, visualize it mentally, and you will be there. And the more you believe in this process, in this ability to manifest, the more you will experience what lies on the other side of that door. I am Sananda, and now I leave you in peace, love, and unity, and may you continue to move forward each day knowing and believing in yourselves and in your ability to cross that door whenever you are ready to do so. Creating space for inspiration, wellness as a creative practice, move beyond burnout, and rekindle creativity with yoga, meditation, and honoring energetic cycles to co-create joy with spirit. I've always been full of creativity. As a child, I'd host TV quiz shows in my living room, convince my cousins to be my backup dancers, and launch new creative projects like it was a second job. I even tried to sell my parents a drawing from second grade for $2. They didn't buy it. What I remember most is the total immersion I felt in that experience. My environment would shrink to a single sacred space where my work and I seemed to dance with God. There's a magical mystery wrapped in sparks of inspiration. Creative ideas don't come so much from us as they flow through us. And it goes far beyond a simple painting or poem. It's the way we rearrange a room, solve a problem, or combine the right words at the right moment. Creativity is life in motion. When an idea comes to us, it needs a way to come to life. Human beings are the only species capable of giving shape to the formless. Our bodies are active participants in the creative process. Once, I got the idea for a textured art piece, a new creative adventure, and I was overcome with the irrepressible urge to spend too much money on art supplies. I bought a jar of spackle, which, by the way, got everywhere, and made 8 canvases of glorious scribbles. My body had taken over. Burnout. I've always been a dynamic, outgoing person who always found time to be creative, all while working a full-time job and regularly going to the gym. But after years and years of constant motion, my body couldn't take it anymore. Ambitious, imaginative, a bit eccentric, and completely exhausted. Burnout is depression's younger sibling, and I became a family friend to both. Fatigue had settled into my bones. Even the simplest tasks required a huge expenditure of energy. I was irritable, had brain fog, and creativity eluded me. I tried picking up a paintbrush. Nothing. I tried starting an interesting project at work. A disaster. I tried making new friends. Complete silence. There wasn't a single breaking point, but moments that piled up like snowflakes in an avalanche. Crying in the women's restroom, compulsively scrolling social media for bad news, canceling another. Meet up with a loved one. A friend told me I looked like I was always going through a rough patch. Ouch. Learning to rest, it was at this point that I finally stopped and reflected on the idea of slowing down. Wellness had become a burden and ambition an obsession. My body, my spirit, and my mind were begging for help. The way I was living wasn't working. Eventually, I had to learn to rest. I say learn, because rest goes far beyond just a good night's sleep. I was introduced to the concept of energy sources and energy drains. I reflected on what inspired me and gave me a breath of fresh air versus what stole my time, energy, and joy. I dove into the roots of my stress, re-examined my relationship with the word busy, and learned to set boundaries. True rest is about preserving your energy mentally, physically, and emotionally. I had the feeling that the more I nourished my body, the more spiritual nourishment I could receive. I was tuning my mind to a creative frequency, and little by little, my imagination returned. She dusted the shelves so ideas had a place to land, and cleared space in the living room so God and I could dance together again. Moving new energy through the body with yoga, I started living creatively again when I became a yoga teacher. I had been practicing yoga for years. It was one of the disciplines I used to recover from burnout. Breathing exercises, meditation, and asana fell into the category of activities that give me energy. But teaching? It required a new mindset, and honestly, I was afraid it would send me back into the burnout spiral. To serve others, I knew I had to first serve myself and stay tuned into a higher power. My wellness practice became the foundation of my creativity. Rest, yoga, meditation, and observing the flow of the world helped me co-create with spirit in ways that weren't possible for me before. Yoga helps me move new energy through my body and find peace even off the mat. Meditation taught me the calm needed to listen to God. Rest is an essential element for relaxing my nervous system and letting go. Seeing life as a cycle taught me how my body and creativity move through ups and downs. Living in a way that fosters creativity not only generates good ideas, but has also helped me find more joy in the world around me. I've slowed down to enjoy what has already been created for my pleasure. Honey tastes sweeter, stars shine brighter, and I see magic in the little, everyday things. Space creating practices if you wish to look at the world with fresh eyes. Here are the practices that helped me create this space. Enjoy rest. This doesn't include doom scrolling, folks. Enjoy sleep, stillness, and nervous system recovery. Move mindfully. Practicing yoga, stretching, or taking a walk can help dissolve stagnant energy and encourage the flow of new ideas. Practice quiet. Meditation, prayer, or reflection create the space for inspiration to enter. Honor your cycles. Observe the natural ebb and flow of your energy, your body, and the world around you. Work with them, not against them. When you create, you are not just expressing yourself, you are expressing the divine. It is the most fruitful way God can work through you. When the body is strong, the sparks of inspiration can ignite, and then you can rejoice in the creative act of simply being alive. Message from the angels. Love, lemons, and waves of light, dearest friends. We love you so immensely. You are all so wonderfully sensitive. You are all so wonderfully caring. You wish for kindness, peace, and love to prevail in your world. You know you cannot force others to want these things, but you can live and dwell in these vibrations as often as possible, thus creating a loving and peaceful life for yourselves and, by your example, offering others an invitation to do the same. Your peace can be the soothing balm that radiates outward and calms everyone near you. Your kindness can be the force that teaches a rude person that true satisfaction is not found in arguments, but in authentic connections. Your compassion can even calm or begin to heal a hateful, wounded heart. Your willingness to pray for those who are lost, rather than condemn them, could be the ray of light that guides their soul to truth in the afterlife. And while the human ego, in its drive to survive, tends to fight or flee, the soul chooses to remain present to the love within itself in every moment. When immersed in grief, the soul focuses on the depth of its love. By tuning more into love and less into loss, you will begin to resonate at the same frequency as your loved ones in heaven. You will perceive their presence more easily. Instead of tormenting yourself over what was left unsaid or undone, honor what was accomplished with love. Instead of focusing on the pain they felt on earth, focus on the relief and bliss they feel now. Instead of focusing on their absence, acknowledge your true feelings of loss. Cry if you need to and be compassionate with yourself, but when you can, strive to focus on the presence of their spirit even before you can perceive it. If you persist, your willingness to open up and welcome them in their new, higher vibration of love will allow you to experience an incredible connection that will never be lost. Similarly, if you find yourself in a difficult relationship, it's easy to give up on your own happiness and wait for the other person to change. But if you can focus on loving and caring for yourself, nourishing your heart and happiness without waiting for the other, then words of anger will slide off you more easily, and your reluctance to stay in the darkness will push the other to grow or leave. By honoring your spirit more often, you will begin to see as the divine sees. The divine says to everyone, I see the light in your soul, even when your personality is dim. I remember the goodness of your heart, even when you have completely forgotten it. When you feel separation, I remember unity. Nothing you can do or say will convince me otherwise. I created you for love, and I remain steadfast in my understanding of your true nature. I refuse to dignify any darkness you embrace, and I will only uphold the truth of your loving nature. When you can maintain this vision of the light within each of you, no matter how buried in darkness, you become one who fans the flame of truth. You can imagine the spark in another's heart growing stronger. You can pray for love's light to rise from within. You can refuse to engage in arguments and stand firm in your truth. You can remain neutral in the face of negativity. You can observe instead of absorb. If you stay in the light, even when another is in the darkness, they will either rise toward a greater light or leave you alone. They will grow or go, because negativity cannot stand in the presence of strong love. Dear friends, stay connected to love, safe in a turbulent world. Stay connected to the power that creates universes, coordinates ecosystems, and inspires evolution. By drawing from the very source of life, you will experience order, harmony, joy, and wonderful guidance that will lead you to others who are equally connected. If you let yourself get swept away by the chaos of the world or the chaos of others, you'll find yourself adrift on a rough emotional sea, tossed about with others who feel equally disconnected. Fortunately, recalibrating doesn't take much time. In fact, you can reconnect to love and all that is beautiful, good, and true in an instant. With a simple choice, to focus on something with love or gratitude, you tune back into the frequency of love, and life resumes a harmonious flow. You don't need to make up for lost time. You only need to find, in the present moment, the path back to love, beginning with loving kindness toward yourself. Be gentle with yourselves. When you look back on your lives, you will be surprised at how your desire to love and create more light has influenced far more people than you can imagine. You will be moved to tears seeing the ripple effect of your lives, thanks to your light, your care, and your radiance. But here and now, in this very moment, be satisfied that as long as you continue to dedicate your attention to what feels a little more like love, you will be rippling the waters of human consciousness, elevating your soul, and paving your path with love and kindness. God bless you. We love you so much. The angel simplicity in doing 6 key ideas lately. I've been exploring ideas on how to bring more simplicity into action, facing tasks, getting everything I need to do done in a day. It can be so overwhelming that we tend to procrastinate and overcomplicate things. What if it were simple? In this article, I'll share some ideas I've explored to simplify every aspect of my day. They won't be for everyone, but I hope they can be useful to you in some way. 1. Complete the moment. One thing I've noticed is how often I rush from one thing to another, leaving a bit of mess or something unfinished, in the hurry to start the next thing. A phrase that really struck me is, live the moment fully. This means not rushing on to the next thing before completing the one you're on. For example, when I finish eating, I wash the dishes and clean up any other mess. I put away the food. I wipe down the counter. When I get ready, I make sure to hang up my towel, put dirty clothes in the hamper, and fold or hang any clothes that aren't dirty yet. At the end of a meeting, I jot down any notes or action items so I don't forget them. If I do laundry, I don't just wash and dry the clothes. I fold them, hang them, and put them away. If I slow down and allow myself to complete what is required in that moment, then I can move on to the next thing with a sense of fulfillment and peace. Plus, it feels much better. 2. Just this task, if you look at your to-do list or your inbox, it's probably too long to complete this week, let alone today. It's overwhelming, and if we try to tackle everything, we risk frantically jumping from one task to another. What struck me most is the phrase, just this. This means I choose one thing to focus on and forget everything else. Easier said than done, I know, but it's a practice. So I set everything else aside and focus on just one thing. I give it my full attention, as if it is absolutely worthy of total dedication. I breathe and give myself to it completely. It's very simple and very meditative. It's not about forcing. It's a simplicity that is refreshing and calming. 3. No need to hurry throughout the day. I like to remind myself, no need to hurry. As a Zen practitioner, you might think I'm always calm and slow-moving. Not at all. I really like moving fast. If I'm cooking or cleaning the kitchen, you'll hear cabinets slamming and I'll move like a whirlwind. It's fun, so I have to deliberately slow down. I find it challenging but truly enjoyable. No need to hurry. Why the rush? 4. No need to run. We always have a handful, or more, of difficult tasks on our list that we tend to put off. They get postponed and pile up. I like to remind myself, no need to run from this. This means it's not as hard or scary as I might think. I feel the urge to run because I'm afraid or overwhelmed. But when I notice I'm about to run, I simply remind myself that it's not necessary. Then I turn toward the task, breathe, and take the first step in the simplest way possible. This, too, is a meditative act. 5. Clear things out. How many of us have a browser with 10,000 tabs open? And what about that overflowing, unmanageable inbox? When I have too many things open or piled up, I like to remind myself to clear things out. It helps me keep things simple. Some examples. Every day or two, I save and close browser tabs. I bookmark them for later, turn them into a task, save them to my read later service, or simply act on them. Ideally, I close them all so I can focus on what I need to do next. Every day or two, I empty my inbox. Now, it's not always like that. Sometimes a lot of messages pile up. But I like having a clean inbox, so I spend some time processing them. If a lot have piled up, it might take 5 to 10 sessions. But ideally, just a couple of sessions a day. My read later service, currently Instapaper, fills up, so ideally I try to empty it every week. That means spending some time reading articles and archiving them, or simply deleting them if I don't feel like reading them. This way I don't feel guilty about the things I don't read. I do the same with physical objects. If I have things on the kitchen counter, my desk, my nightstand, etc., I take some time to deal with each item and put it away. Sometimes I don't have time to do it all at once, so I return to the pile until it's completely clear. It's not about being perfect or getting stressed if things pile up, but if I take some time to clear things out, my life feels much simpler. 6. Time to plan and reflect. I find it important to take some time at the start of each week and each day to plan. Nothing complicated. What do I want to accomplish this week? What do I want to accomplish today? I do the same thing each month and each year. It helps me know where I'm going and what to focus on. I like to keep it simple and spend just a few minutes each day and each Sunday or Monday. I also think it's important to carve out a little space to reflect. What have I done? What's good to celebrate? What am I putting off? What's blocking me? What am I learning? I don't have to reflect on these things every day, but if I spend even just a couple of minutes a day reflecting, my life becomes much more balanced and simple. With love, Zen Habits by Babauta. Galactic message. Transcending the space-time veil. Over the years, these transmissions have focused largely on the need to transcend space-time, the illusions of the physical realm, to understand not only who you are, but what you are as a soul, as consciousness. Today we dedicate this transmission to one of the simplest, yet most profound, truths that exist. Divine love is the only way to transcend the veil, the illusions of space and time, fundamental to the projection of your consciousness that you perceive as physical reality, can only be broken when you experience unity and harmony in spirit, and this can only be accomplished through love and nothing else. Love unites, binds everything together. Love is the very fabric of existence, for it is the spark of the divine that animates all things. Love is the way, the truth, and the life, as Christ said. Love is the supreme self, as Krishna said. Love is the ultimate truth of your existence. If you do not embrace love and live from your heart, you cannot take a single sincere step on the spiritual path. Living from the heart means perceiving always through love. What does love ask of you in this moment? How does love inspire you to react and respond to life? How does it make you a better person? The only thing preventing divine love from blossoming organically within you is the fears inherent in the ego, and many of these fears are reinforced by the space-time veil of separation between you and the divine. Therefore, having the courage, the willingness to be vulnerable to be a channel for love itself, is the only way to transcend the Maya distortions of reality, and it is also why all true masters throughout your history have emphasized that love is, in effect, the way. The 12 decreators, become your higher self in your physical body. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help you. We perceive your energies on Earth, and we know you are doing much better than you think, individually and collectively. It might seem like you are moving slowly, without making much progress, but if you look at your lives from your perspectives, remember that you always have the ability to change them. You can change a great deal about yourselves, your lives, and the world around you, simply by changing the way you look at all three. This is something we have trained ourselves to do in order to be of greater service to everyone. We have trained ourselves to look for the positive, to look for progress, to look for potential, and to always see the love. You too wish to feel the love within you for your life, your world, and yourselves, and you have the power, the ability, to do so. You only need to exercise your free will and make that choice so that you can live more as the loving being you are. You don't need anything to change in order to do that. In fact, it's very likely that nothing can change until you change your perspective, the way you look at yourself, your life, and the world. When we say the world, you can include in that statement all the other human beings who inhabit it, because you need to release judgment and resistance toward your fellow humans in order to truly be who and what you are. You are unconditional love incarnate, and unconditional love is incompatible with judgment and resistance, and this is another choice you must make using your free will. Choose love above all else. And when you can't find love, seek acceptance, and eventually you'll get there. Pretend to be the way you want to be, that the world is the way you want it, and that your life is exactly as you desire it, and notice how you feel. If you like that feeling, keep pretending. Allow yourself the feeling of satisfaction, fulfillment, and even joy because you can, not because circumstances demand it. And when you do, you will prove to yourselves how powerful you are. You will prove to yourselves that you can change right now and become your higher self while in your physical body, and then you might see the world and all its inhabitants change, and change for the better. You might even see the circumstances of your life change to reflect the changes you've made within you. And if you see none of that, then you will know that you are testing yourselves to see how unconditionally you can be. This is what you truly are. Unconditional love. Accept it, and you will change everything in the blink of an eye. We are the creators, and we love you very much.